Come in, Mr. Rector. Please, sit down.
Thank you, Signor Cordero. I'm sorry to intrude at a time like this.
I've been asked to speak with you, and that request came directly from the U.S. Embassy.
Impressive.
What interest does the United States have in my wife's murder? Do you think it was a terrorist act? Why would they want to hurt Bianca?
I don't have the answers, Signore. I'm still investigating.
Very well. I've already been over everything with the police a dozen times, but I'll do what I can to help you.
It would help me to know more about you.
Very well.
Was Bianca your first wife?
See, I worked hard all my life, and I'm not ashamed to say I enjoyed my youth. But a man who wishes to accomplish certain things in life needs a wife. Bianca was everything I needed. She had beauty, style, connections. I doubt I will ever find her equal.
Tell me about your work.
I am consigliere of Venice. I used to practice law, but for now my focus is exclusively on politics. Venice is struggling, as is all of Italy. It will take the best of all of us to save her, if we can.
Tell me about Bianca.
What would you like to know?
Did your wife play piano?
No, she was quite musical, but she preferred dance. She was in a classical dance company before we were wed. As for the piano, Bianca loved to entertain, and music was always a part of such evenings.
How did you meet Bianca?
Bianca's family is one of the most influential in all of Italy. I have known her father for many years. I watched Bianca mature. She was the perfect politician's wife. She loved meeting people and doing philanthropic work. I knew she would make the perfect wife for a man of my ambitions. Fortunately, her father agreed, and I was able to convince her to marry me, even though she was quite young at the time.
How old was Bianca when you married her?
She was 18 and I was 43, but she was very mature for her age. She knew the life she wanted, and I could give it to her. She was happy in our marriage, especially once our son came along.
I realize it is difficult to speak ill of the dead, but Bianca must have had some flaws. No one is perfect.
It is a good thing that I, myself, am a man who often has to say things no one wants to hear, because otherwise I would throw you out of the house for that impudence.
As you say, getting to the truth is not always pleasant.
She was a beautiful young woman. She had some insecurities. Never thought she was good enough, perfect enough. Perhaps I should be grateful for that. If she had been more confident, she might never have married me.
I appreciate your honesty, Signore. Bianca quit dancing after you were married?
Of course. It was hardly appropriate for the wife of a man in my position.
How old was Bianca when she had your son?
It was a year after our marriage. She was 19. Does that have some relevance?
We'll see. I must ask you about Bianca's murder.
If you must.
Do you know who killed Bianca?
No. She was a beautiful and gracious young woman. She had no enemies, nor do I.
Tell me about the night it happened.
Bianca wished to attend a concert. She had a number of musician friends from her student days. I declined to go with her. It was nothing important, and I preferred to get some work done. Now I wish I'd never allowed her to go out alone.
You couldn't possibly have known. It's not your fault. I've heard that you have unpopular views. Perhaps someone took offense to them.
Do you think someone would be cruel enough to hang my beautiful young wife because they did not like my politics?
I think people are not very wise and often violent.
I cannot control what madmen think or do. I'm afraid I must get back to work. In times of fiscal crisis, one is not even allowed the solace of grief. You may stay and look around. I have told the staff that you are free to come and go. You'll find Bianca's bedroom through that door there. And before you ask, the house has plenty of rooms. Bianca liked having her own sanctuary. We were happily married.
I would be the last person to judge such an arrangement. Thank you for your time, Signor Cardolo.
Goodbye.
This is quite an assortment. Not many women wear gloves these days. I wonder what Bianca saw in them. Interesting. This glove is quite large. It would fit my hand. These overly large gloves are interesting, but I don't need to take them with me. Recognize that. It's a key slot, probably for a secret drawer. I need the key. It would be broad and flat.
Mr. Rector, I'm glad you stopped by. Someone was here looking for you.
Oh? Who was that?
It was an Asian woman, middle-aged. She didn't give her name. She came in to inquire about you after your last visit. To be honest, I didn't like her manner, and I told her I didn't know you. I hope I wasn't wrong.
No, she doesn't sound like anyone I know, and I don't care for people knowing my business. Let me know if she bothers you again.
Of course.
There's something on the bottom of the canal. Could it have fallen from Bianca's purse? I believe that's a younger photo of Signora Felone, the woman who lives near the site of Bianca's murder. She's wearing a Venetian Murano glass necklace. I don't recall seeing it on her when we met.
Hello again, Mr. Rector.
Signore Barozzi. I think this one is worth a purchase. I'd like to buy this necklace.
Certainly. Let me get that for you. Shall I put it on your account?
Please.
There you are. You have a good eye, as always, Mr. Rector.
I'd like to take this boat pole. Can you put it on my account?
Of course.
Signor Condello will miss this.
Yes, Signore. What can I do for you?
Signore Felone, I was so struck by your elegance during our earlier conversation. I saw this in a shop today, and for some reason had the idea that it must be worn by you and no other.
Oh, Signore, how would you have known, eh? I had a similar necklace that I wore for many years, but recently, well, I was forced to part with it. I shouldn't accept it, but it has been years since I've received tokens from such a handsome young man, eh? How can I refuse? Mille grazie, Signore, thank you.
It's my pleasure. I'm sorry to trouble you with a distressing subject, Signore, but may I ask you about the night of the murder?
I really don't want to talk about that. I'm frightened.
Of course you are. Who wouldn't be? But I'm not the police, and this information is not for the courts. It will stay between you and me.
Well...
A musician like yourself, your ears are very keen.
Yes, I heard a scream, as if her mouth was covered by a hand.
You looked out the window. What did you see?
There were two men, all in black. Slender, small.
Did you see their faces?
No, their heads, their faces. They were covered in black, as if they were in a play. I swear. Oh, perhaps I've been foolish. I should have stayed quiet. I must go. Thank you for the necklace.
Signora. I have a feeling this brass hook dropped from Bianca's purse. I'll take it with me.